And we are live. What is going on, people? It's your boy Blackwing 2040. Welcome to the first ever episode of Sit and Watch. I am here with a very special guest. You may know him across all of Toku Twitter. He is the most famous black man in Japan. You know him, you love him. Introduce yourself, my brother.
What's going on, everybody? This is MrCooper92. Thank you, Blackwing, for having me on. Like he said, I am the most famous black man in Japan, self-proclaimed famous black man in Japan. If anybody else calls himself the black man in Japan, well, they haven't talked to me yet. So I'm happy to be here.
Certainly. And thank you so much for being here, man, because trust me, I had like this idea in mind, just like, just originally when we talked about this, we were trying to do like a whole Toku day because during like earlier stages of the pandemic was going on. I was like, great, I don't know how to do this with Zoom, and then I had to pay for Zoom to keep it longer and everything. Like, okay, I ain't got that kind of money I ain't got that kind of money to burn. I don't got that kind of money to burn, but damn.
Yeah, it's probably seemed like I got a lot of money like that, but I really don't. I don't.
Trust me.
I rent these. I rent every single one of them.
They
all have an expiration date.
Bro, I wish I could just have that kind of amount of toku stuff, but I don't got that kind of stuff. I don't got that kind of money.
It's fine. It takes a lot of time and a lot of budgeting.
Yeah, most definitely. The budgeting is key. Most definitely key. So today's first debut episode of Sit and Watch, we are going to be watching O's Den-O, Let's Go Kamen Riders. This film is the 40th anniversary celebration of all Kamen Rider, and in honor of O's 10th anniversary this year, decided to be like, yo, Vaughn, let's watch Let's Go Kamen Riders, because this movie celebrate O's is part of the 40th celebration of Kamen Rider, and Kamen Rider is going to be turning 50 next year. So,
man,
50 years.
I've been in this fandom for too long. Then, if it's been the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider,
50 years of Kamen Rider. I don't know what they got. I don't know what Toei got planned, but they better go above and beyond with that, because pretty much the big three are hitting milestones. Ultraman's turning 55, Rider's turning 50. Sentai's turning 45. I'm like, damn, Toku celebrations, a milestone next year. It's a milestone.
But nobody talk about the Caesar series, or nobody talks about like Ryukendo or all the other shows.
The obscure Toku shows.
Also, Garo celebrating his 50th anniversary right now. It's the 50th anniversary for that. So
wow,
congratulations to Garo.
I did not even know that. So what do you remember most about this Toku film?
The most I remember about this film is that pretty much lies with both Kamen Rider O's, New Den-O. It goes back in time pretty much for like the original Kamen Rider era. I remember the most favorite moment I have is because it's famous overall. It's pretty much when they call out all different Kamen Riders that come out to fight. So pretty much that's the most memorable that I have. And I haven't watched this movie for about like 7 or 8 years now. So it's going to be interesting just to see how it holds up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also the Damashi form for Kamen Rider O's.
Ah, yes.
Because it's pretty much the Taka, Momotaro's for Imagine, and as well as Shocker to make that form. So at first I didn't like that form. I kind of don't have like a good relationship with that form, but it's still, I like the jingle for it.
Yeah, I love the jingle. The jingle is really, really dope. I think for me, like you said, the whole coming of the Kamen Riders, because again, I don't know how Japan does it, but they be pulling off these team ups better than we do over here in Hollywood, the MCU and DC films. I'm like, yo, Marvel wish they could do something like this, but nope. They could try. They tried. I mean, Infinity War, Endgame, they did their best. They got some good stuff, but when it comes to Toku,
they have experience doing it. So
exactly. When it comes to team ups, Toku got team ups down packed.
The one thing I love about Tokusatsu is pretty much they can try to get all the actors back or try to get certain ones that are willing to come back, and it doesn't feel like it's being like it feels out of place majority of the time. Yeah, especially if they plan it ahead of time to make sure who they can get and whatnot. Especially if they're trying to get like a famous, it's like somebody that's now famous, but it's hard to get at this moment.
All right, we done a lot of talking and blabbing, so let's get this movie started. Here we go. Of course, you got that nice, clear waterfall opening.
Toei.
Classic. Just classic.
Just make me want to jump in the beach right now.
Bruh. I'd just be rather just chill on the beach if you ask me. There's our boy.
Oh, look at him running.
I remember the first time I watched this, I didn't, see O's or anything. I mean, not O's. I didn't see Den-O at all because around that time when I first got into Kamen Rider, I started with Kuga. I couldn't really get into it because Kuga was too slow for me. So I jumped to Decade, then Double, then O's, and then I'm like, all right, let me go back to Kuga and watch it. And man, just rewatching things, it has a lot more different aspects. It feels totally different when you rewatch it for a second time.
It really does, especially when you're trying to understand everything after the rewatch. So pretty much what I used to do, and I still kind of do, is that after the show ends, I just go back all the way to the first episode and rewatch the show again, just to make sure that if I didn't miss anything, miss any secrets, or pretty much like just making sure that I understand where the story is coming from if I missed it out. So I kind of stopped doing that, but I kind of restarted doing that after Re-Soldier because after that last episode, I'm like, okay, I gotta rewatch this show again.
Okay? Funny that you mentioned that because I'm gonna have to rewatch Re-Soldier in December because I'm like, you know what? I need to see what everybody be hyping up about Re-Soldier. I need to rewatch the season again because I'll admit, Re-Soldier, it has its moments. I'm not gonna get it. I know you and a couple of the other guys from Legion of Boom be hyping it up. I'm like, yo, what is so hype about this season? I don't get it. But I'm like, let me watch this show again.
It's funny too because majority of us watch it together, so we all get hyped up together watching Toku, and like we watch Re-Soldier, like the episodes, the movies together, and unsubbed first, and then we watch it sub individually. But with Kara Major, with the same thing we do in Kara Major, we just get hyped up because we're watching it live. We feel all that Sentai spirit, but we're not going to talk about Sentai now. But this is pretty much Kamen Rider. Speaking of Kamen Rider, there's new Den-O right there.
Yep. I never understood Den-O when I first watched it. Well, before I even watched it, every time I was watching something Toku related, Den-O was always in it. I'm like, why is he in everything? Like, what is so popular about this show? And then having to actually watch Den-O completely from beginning to end, just the show and the movie. I'm not jumping into those spin-off films or anything because that's too much work. But I could see why people say Den-O, it's hilarious, it's fun, it's energetic, it's everything. And I love it. And I love it about that.
Yeah, that's the power of Kobayashi. I love her writing. I miss her so much. I want her to come back to Tokusatsu so badly. I believe she's wrapping up Attack on Titan because she pretty much writes the series right now, like re-edit everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's been very busy after Tokuger. So pretty much she wrote both she wrote both Kamen Rider O's and Kamen Rider Den-O, and you can see the difference between the two.
That makes sense. That makes sense of this.
She's a very versatile writer. I believe she didn't write the movie. I know that she didn't write this movie, but I like when I see her characters on screen because they're either parallel to each other or very, very different. So you can tell from here on Den-O is that you see all the lightheartedness of Den-O, but when you see like Eiji and Unk and like in the scene, I'm like, wow, you can tell like she rose up. She's a very versatile writer.
Yep. Speaking of Deno, here we are on the Den liner with the Imogens, the Corky crew, as I like to call them. And boy, these shenanigans that these characters go through, some moments it just makes me laugh.
Yeah. My favorite one is Owner, just as a
Oh my!
character.
Anytime owner steps into the room, everybody just like, oh,
Yep.
like it's like, oh, we gotta stop.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him in the on the Geo movie because
Yo,
we haven't seen him in about like 10 years, and he has not aged a bit. I'm like, wow,
he don't look it. He really does not age. I'm
he
like,
does not.
wow. I'm just like, I don't understand. Cause trust, I bet you Japanese audiences threw a loud cheer when owner showed up on that screen. I was like, because I remember when the movie was, getting promoted and everything during the winter. And of course, a lot of my friends in the Toku community, because we were always wondering when Geo was airing, it was like, oh, who's gonna be the next cameo? Anybody know who's the next cameo is gonna be? And then one of my friends is like, yo, Deno's making a cameo in Generations Forever. I was like, really? Really?
Yep.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, because nobody knew about it until you actually went inside the movie theater and you find out that they got Takeru Soto to come back, who's, as you may not know, he's very, very popular right
He's a
now.
very hard person to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard person to reach. But man, I'm telling you, Heisei Generations Forever. I mean, I still say Generations Finals the better, but
Yep.
Generations Forever it's a great film within itself as well.
It held a special place, especially when you see majority of the returning people from
Yep.
from shows. But seeing it's pretty much seeing Rotaro come back, but not really Rotaro is Yutaras. Yutaros were possessing him.
Yep.
It kind of makes sense why they did it, because they want to make sure they point him out as like a cool character instead of like how he was flimsy, falling around everywhere. They want to make sure that he has like a cool introduction. But
Yep.
good thing they get to do that.
Yep, most definitely. I kind of like how the way. Okay, one for the folks who don't know about Deno, the main aspect of Deno is that they're on a train called the Den Liner. They time travel to the past because they fight these monsters called Imogen, and Imogens are like genies, and if they grant your wish, it comes at a price. Basically, the price is they want to take away the most precious memory of you. So they travel back to that specific time of your memory. Yo, I'll be trying people's nerves from time to time.
I know, that's why you're my favorite. That's why you're one of my favorite characters.
I'll be trying people's nerves. So yeah, with Imogen, they travel back to the area of the memory and they just wreak havoc, and that's the point of time travel in Den-O. So here in this movie, the Imogen basically have to travel back to the year of 1971, the year that Kamen Rider was born. So hence the reason why you're gonna see Ichigo and Nigo in this movie. And if I may say, seeing just the Showa Riders in HD quality, it's just so clean.
It's so surreal to think about, because after All Rider versus Die Shocker, that was pretty much your first time seeing all those suits live action in HD in a pretty much the first time you see it overall.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed it because you can see like the difference between like all the different suits from like all the different years all together. And it was so surreal to think about, especially when you see, for example, Ichigo and Nigo right next to like Kuga and Agito, or Hibiki right next to Amazon. It's pretty much like a retelling, like a show of like history between Kamen Rider.
Yep. So of course, they just lost a cell medal, so that's gonna cost them later on. Oh, what do we got here?
Look who's finding it up. Of course,
Shocker Troopers.
That's all that they will say.
That's pretty much. That's anytime you see a Shocker Trooper, you're gonna hear that sound.
Another fun fact too about New Den-O is that He's also hard to get now because he's also very, very popular.
Jeez, Den will just being the start of everybody's careers, and boom, they just hit the big time.
Yep. But he also has a very good relationship with Takeru Sota and also the guy that plays Shu Watanabe, the guy that plays AG for O's. Like they're all close. He's close friends with both of them, and I believe in Takeru's new YouTube channel. Like they were like he went on the trip with like both him, the dude that plays Waz, and I believe somebody else too.
I forgot he has a YouTube channel as well. Yo, Toku actors be creating YouTube channels now, especially Build's actor. He just created his own YouTube channel as well.
Just him roaming around, talking, eating food majority of the time. That's all he does right now.
I wonder sometimes if they just roaming down the streets, people will be like, "Hey, you're like, yes, I am. Thank you." I bet you they don't get that. I know it ain't like over here in America where you see a celebrity walking down the street and be like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" Like, yeah, sure. I know they don't get that kind of attention in Japan.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid if that happens to me when I go to Japan. Because if I see that, I'm like, oh man, they probably think I'm weird. But I think they're very humble because for one, we're more international fans, and us recognizing them for like a role that is based in Japan, I believe they feel shocked at first.
Yeah, be like, how did you find out? Like, how do you know about this? Be like, research.
Don't be like the dude that's on Saber right now. The dude Robin. What's his character name? Storius?
I forgot. I totally forgot.
It's fun because he asked people in English, how do you watch Kamen Rider? I'm like, oh.
Funny that you mentioned that. I heard a story of the dude that played Shotaro in Double. He was at a panel at Japan World Heroes, and at the panel he asked everybody like, "So how do you guys watch the show?" And like the whole room was dead silence. I was like, I wish I was there to witness that.
Oh man, I should have went during the year when both Kamen Rider Blade and also Decorate was there. With Jack Landers. Jack Landers was there too. I could have took that. Oh man, I should have been there.
That would have been great. That would have been so great.
But I know we're going on a little bit of tangent, but back to the movie.
Yep.
You can tell that the universe has changed ever since the Cell Metal was lost in 1971. So You can tell that like a lot of humanity is pretty much in the dumps right now. Look what's going on right here.
This kind of reminds me of the Fies movie where the Orphanox actually do control the world and everything. So that really just the first thing that came to mind. It's kind of weird though with time travel films. It's like that one little mishap.
Oh, I just realized who the dude in that tie is. Oh wow.
Wait a minute, he do look familiar.
Remember Forze?
Oh, the Leo Zodiarts.
Yep.
Yo, he be making cameos like there's no tomorrow.
That makes a lot of because he was in that. He was also in that episode of Go Kaiju when it was Doc.
Yep, you're right. Yep, he was in there too.
Yeah.
Man, Toku actors making cameos, man.
Yeah. I know my favorite part of like him as like an actor was his fight with Meteor, like
yep.
Like Unmorph fight. I'm gonna say Unmorph because Power Rangers. Unmorph fight in Forze, but then again, it was Koichi Sakamoto directed, so I can say Morph.
God bless that man. Koichi is the GOAT. His work, all his work.
My father. Snack Amigo.
You know what's funny? It's just I find it hard to watch, Showa, era Toku. I mean, the only Showa Toku show I ever watched was Live Man, but seeing just, seeing Showa monsters with this movie and seeing Showa monsters in HD quality, I'm just like, I gotta give the Showa era a look. I gotta dive more.
Hey, give it a chance because I need to finish the original Kamen Rider since it's now free everywhere, so I got opportunity to, so I might as well.
Oh yeah, after watching the first episode, I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, I only watched the first episode of the OG Kamen Rider, and just like, wow, this is just for its time, it's wow. But even now, it's history.
Yep.
It's
I will say that people really do praise Ichigo a lot, but not a lot of people praise Nigo, and he needs a lot of praise, especially for what he had to do when the original actor for Kamen Rider was trying to get through his surgery because he got into that accident while filming Kamen Rider.
wow.
Like a lot of stuff that pretty much that gave Kamen Rider his culture was with through Kamen Rider Nigo. So we need to give Nigo a lot of appreciation, especially with these newer Kamen Rider.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because of course, with all these team up movies, when you see Ichigo and Nigo together on the screen, they have that presence.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how in a Sentai team up, where you see Aka Ranger on the screen, it's like, oh, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you got like someone like Big One, I'm like, oh, snaps.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these old school first top tier Red Rangers or just first class Toku heroes. It's just they have that presence.
Mm-hmm. It's a very strong presence. So I can see that why when I'm watching the shows right now, because I know with Kamen Rider I stopped at a certain point. I had to restart at that point I was, but I know that I finished Amazon. I finished the original Kamen Rider Amazon. I finished Kamen Rider Black. I loved Kamen Rider Black.
That's the main show I'm definitely gonna be checking out because I know it's so popular.
Yes, I will highly recommend you watching Black. It's really great. Black RX, I need to finish. I stopped about 2-3 years ago, but I need to finish everything for that show. It's okay. I really do like Black more, but Black RX, I believe is pretty much where you get majority of the new the first time you get form changes.
Yep.
And Stronger.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's for some reason I just tend to I really do like Stronger's suit design. I know some people say Stronger is not one of the best, but I don't know, for some reason he looks cool to me.
I'll say if you want to get more details about Stronger, I'll recommend speaking to Sentai 5 because he watched Stronger and I think he really enjoyed it. Yep. I just need to rewatch it. I just need to start it again. I haven't only watched the first episode. That was it.
Yep. Shout out to Sentai 5s, bro. You the GOAT, man.
Shout out to the homie.
Okay, this whole moment right here, just having a representative from each evil organization in all of Kamen Rider history. This is just great. You have someone from the Grongi, the Dopants, the Undead, the Orphanox. It's just mind blowing. I see
Apollo guys. I see people from Amazons. I see people from Black RX. I see people from the Z Cross movie too.
Yep.
Man, it's so surreal to see them, especially him.
Yeah, because if one person we're talking about, if you guys watched Mass Rider, you have what was the name? What was the dude's name? Lord Dragon.
Lord Dragon.
I forgot his Kamen Rider counterpart's real name, but just to see that costume again in HD quality, it's just wow. It's just wow.
I know. It's just the one thing about Kamen Rider is that they will love to pay tribute to the original Shocker, and they'll do it any possibility they can.
Oh yes, most definitely. Especially with them Tizen movies, despite how bad they may be, they do. I mean, those movies are pretty much fan service movies. There's no story. Those movies are just meant to be fan service and just to be enjoyable. And I could see that. I mean, to me, the best Tizen movie has to be the first one.
Oh, for me, it's the second one for some reason. I don't know why.
They combined 3 franchises into that Tizen movie. I'm like, yeah, this is a lot.
I don't know why I like it so much, but I don't know why I like it so much. I don't know. It was something about it that gave it its charm.
I guess having, Gavin in there and with, Sentai and Rider and Metal Heroes together in one movie, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Plus, I haven't seen those suits in a while, especially the Beef Fighter suits. Whew.
Those suits are fire. Those suits are so fire.
Oh, shout out to Toku Scans too, because he be putting out those pictures.
Oh yes, yes. Yo, I don't know how he does it, but he makes it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly makes that happen.
All right, so we got back with AG saving the kids.
You know, one thing though, I always tend to dislike how the way kids act in Toku, shows or just Toku films because they always act so bratty. Like, you're like, don't use common sense. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, there's only a few that I like in Toku.
Yep.
Definitely like in Ghost Sager and Q Ranger.
Yep.
And also Die Ranger. Cole, you say what you want about Cole, but Cole had a very good storyline.
Cole can be he has a good storyline, but of course in the beginning, Cole can be pretty bratish, pretty
pervy.
Very pervy, but it's all part of his character.
Yeah, but his story is great. Even though he's kind of a weird little child, but
Yeah, it's all part of his character. Now, I find it very interesting how in this universe, how Shocker just pretty much takes over the entire world, and society's on its last legs, and you have this little indoor regime trying to take down the whole Shocker society. Because for those who don't know, Shocker is basically like this big terrorist organization, and of course their main purpose is to take over the world, as any villain organization will want to do. And here in this universe, it's pretty much a what if story. Like, what if Shocker actually did win? So they find the means, they find the certain technology to take over the world, and again, this is how we got this.
And also, even though there's also another point to what happens with Shocker 2, but it hasn't really shown up yet. But we're gonna see it as soon as AG becomes O's.
Yeah, I love that belt and I love that jingle.
It's so beautiful. I love that belt so much. I love it so much. My number one favorite belt, my number one favorite series of all time for Kamen Rider.
Yep.
And overall,
whenever I had the money, I'm definitely buying me that CSM O's driver.
Oh, trust me, it costs some money.
I know. Oh, trust me, I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Especially during that aftermarket, it costs you some money.
I'm wear that belt. I'm gonna be wearing my daishiki with style. Look, you did it first, but I'm gonna do it as well. I'm like, let me get my daishiki, put this belt on, and I'm gonna morph into Kamen Rider O's with pride. Let's go.
That's how you had to do it. Oh, there they go. This is the point I've been talking about.
Here they are.
You don't want to be cheering now.
Here they are. The OGs.
And if you cannot tell, Ichigo's the one with the silver gloves, Nigo's the one with the red gloves.
Yep.
It gets confusing at first until you actually see them in other things for a while. Especially the way they fight. Up and there we have it. That's one thing they also changed in the universe.
Yep. Basically, here in this changed universe, Kamen Rider, Ichigo, and Nigo were created by Shocker. Their main purpose was, of course, to serve under Shocker. And here in this, changed timeline, it actually worked. So now Ichigo and Nigo are puppets of Shocker.
Yep. So it's pretty much how they wanted to make it in the original Kamen Rider show. They wanted Kamen Rider to be their number one warrior. So it pretty much works out to how the original show was trying to plan out for them.
Yep. See, I like how with this kid, how he seems so hopeless, and it goes up against, Edgy's optimism and hope. It just takes that one hero to give them, it takes that one person just to inspire a generation. Hey, don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Keep hope alive and everything. Because that's one thing I love about Edgy. Edgy has 100% continuous optimism. He never gives up. Continuous determination. That's mainly one of the reasons why I love O so much and why he's my favorite writer, next to Forze and Kuga.
Yep, that's one thing I also like about Edgy too, because he doesn't he's a good Kamen Rider, especially for O's, because he doesn't really have greed. He's not a
Yep.
greedy person. He was at the beginning. Well, in the past, with like his history and everything else, being from like a shelter, pretty much like a shelter home, because his parents are very famous. His grandfather is very famous. Which they really didn't talk about, but except for like in articles back in Japan, like around that time. But he was not a very greedy Kamen Rider, which I do appreciate, until he had to find a way to become a little bit greedy, because he served as a vessel for
the purple medals. See, and that's why I love rewatching things. It opens my mind to like, oh, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'm very unfamiliar with this character. I know this character is from the Delta Army, but which season of Rider is he from?
I remember I said Zet Cross, but Zet Cross was a special, not a movie. Was only a special, not a show. Yeah. But I don't think. No, he's not from Zet Cross, because I see him in other stuff. I want to say he's either in. I want to say Stronger. Cause I know it wasn't Sky Rider. Okay. I want to say Stronger. I may be wrong. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I want to say he was in Stronger.
And again, these shower suits, no matter how outdated they are, they just look so clean and HD quality.
Oh yeah, they had to update his, because if you look at his older suit, I remember seeing pictures of it. The face that he has in the inside, it was nightmare fuel.
Oh god!
You will you will scream.
Oh boy!
I love how they have the new Denliner Cafe set up like that.
It looks great. Ryutaro's. But one thing for you guys who don't know, if you haven't watched Kamen Rider Den-O, with the Imogens, Den-O's main point with the Imogens, they possess people. Now with the main hero of Den-O, who's not really present in this movie, but somewhat, but with the 4 Imogens, you have Momotaros, who's basically the sword form, which is the main form of Den-O. You have Uetaros, who is the rod form. And when I mean rod, it's basically for like a staff. You have Kintaros for axe form, and you have Ryutaros for the gun form. Yep. And to get it together, when the Imogens combine their powers, they get Den-O Climax.
Yep.
Because I'm like, so many forms. It's like it's hard to keep up with all these forms that they got.
Yeah. And then one form and one Imagine that is not here, but is also shows up like here and there, is Siege.
Yes, Siege. Wing form.
He only showed up in the show. He only showed up in the show twice, as well as he showed up in like different movies, especially the main Den-O movie. But it's a story between him that a reason why he cannot be in the show a lot or in the movies a lot.
Yep. And I like how the movie and the show kind of pretty much intertwined with each other. That was really great.
I know this. It was one of the few Kamen Rider movies I really enjoyed, and I actually have to watch while watching the show, because it hits the show beats very, very well.
Yep.
Plus, I really like that movie too. I like the ending thing as well for that.
Oh, the ending theme in that movie was great, really great. Yeah, I be humming that theme to myself sometimes.
Man, it's an addicting song, and I had that song on my phone for like years, so I can never take it off my phone for like. Has it been? Yep, it's been about like 13, 14 years since I had that song on my phone, and it never leaves my playlist.
One thing I know with new Den-O, he's got to be Den-O's nephew, cousin, grandson?
His grandson.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep, it's Den-O's grandson. It's weird because when I saw him here originally, I'm like, who's this dude with brown hair? Because New Den-O had black hair when he got introduced, until you realize like, oh, it's the same dude, but he just dyed his hair.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anytime like a Toku actor comes back for like a team up movie or a crossover, like they always change their look for some reason.
Oh, you're gonna see this in this movie too for a certain cameo.
Ah, yes, yes.
Two certain cameos. Because it's one you can really tell that they changed their hair, and the other one you can tell that a lot happened to them after then double. Oh,
Yep.
I already said who they are, but oh well.
They probably wouldn't know because again, this movie has a lot of cameos that you never expected to see. So we'll keep it on the DL. Currently, we just got introduced to Hina, who is pretty much a strong. She's like the She-Hulk of Kamen Rider. Like the girl is incredibly strong. Like
she is strong,
mad strong. Like she could lift up a vending machine with ease.
Yep.
I love how every time Ankh sees her, she's like that scary, strong Amazon woman.
And the weird thing is that we don't know where she get her strength from. She just has.
Yeah, she's just straight up strong.
After all these years, especially in Geo, they never really explain how she's strong, but you know, she's just strong.
Like a very strong woman.
Just the floating hand.
One thing for those who don't know, Kamen Rider always has like that one female assist character. Every Kamen Rider show has one. Some could be strong female characters. Some may say they're straight up annoying. Some may say they don't really do much. I mean, me, I don't really care. Funny enough, when I first started like watching Kamen Rider, like with Decade, I always thought like the female character was like, you know, the main character's like love interest or girlfriend for some reason. But again, not all the time, but it's just like they're there to, you know, help the person out.
Yeah, especially with Deno, because there is a female assistant, but they're not love interests. They definitely are not love interests at all.
Yep. Oh yeah, they certainly are not.
Until you realize the plot.
The fact that Momotaro's got to hold him with a leash and a chain.
I feel so happy that that the people that play both the in-suit for the Imagine Monsters as well as the voice actors like coming back for these roles.
Yeah,
I like how they like coming back as well as how they pretty much don't lose a beat when it comes to
they still got that same charm.
And because they're so popular again, they have a new movie that's coming out.
Yep.
I don't know if they released that new movie yet.
I'm not sure.
I do know there's a Deno, and she is a little girl, and that's all I know. And it's not not Hina, Hana.
Yeah, Hana. Yeah. See, so why? It's one thing with the Japanese names. Like some of these names are always ended up being so similar. They're like they always sound the same. Sometimes they like reusing the same names.
Don't try to. I get that same feeling with both Edgy and Emu because their last names.
Right.
So Hojo Emu and then Hino Edgy.
Oh gosh. So basically they went back in time, they retrieved the cell metal that caused this whole mess, and now of course Ankh is being completely greedy as always, because he is agreed. That's what he does.
Because he wants ultimate goal is get his whole body back. And of course, a lot more cell metals came out.
Oops.
Because of Momotaro's. Of course, jump.
Every time they have the opportunity to just jump out of the den liner, it's just so funny.
Man, I love Seiji Takaiwa because Seiji Takaiwa always has fun in a Momotaro suit.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I forgot. I always tend to forget. Oh my gosh. He just blows up the middle.
Yep.
It's funny how the forms that they take with with Deno, they also have like their own weapons based on their forms.
Mhm.
Dynamic chop. Break the neck.
Okay, old man, try to go to sleep again. I know we want to go to sleep, Kintaros.
Mind if I reel you in?
Oh God, don't say that to kids.
Never.
Please don't say that to kids.
Never. Don't ever say that, because that's gonna get you in big trouble.
Hey, Japan don't play that.
Nope.
I'm like, if you say that again, they will recast you. Oh, just want the Camaraderie Club kids.
Yep. Yo, now I just realized how there's a Kamen Rider Club in the year 1971, and then there's gonna be another Kamen Rider Club in present day with Kamen Rider Forza. I'm just like, wow, Kamen Rider Club, continue, the legacy continues on.
Mm-hmm. I just love that the little emblem that she has on around her neck.
Yep.
I need to finish the original Kamen Rider just to see where that come from.
I guess it's kind of like kind of like a scouts program, like a Kamen Rider scouts program. The kids are kind of like keeping watch over the neighborhood, and if there's trouble, like they alert the Kamen Rider. It's kind of like how with Batman they light the bat signal and saying like, hey, there's trouble, we need you, and vice versa with Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I just remember the plot twist of this movie. I just remembered it, but I'm not going to say it right now. As soon as I saw the kid with the glasses, I'm like, I remember what happens in this movie now.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh right. I'm telling you, the twist in this movie is crazy.
It was so surreal to think about, because I didn't watch the movie yet until I want to say, oh, here we go. More medals.
They can never keep their hands on the medals, ever.
Oh, and there goes. Okay, I know you want to slap him.
This guy gets punched by a shocker trooper.
You got beat up by the most weakest villain of all time.
And there's Black Shogun again.
I don't know if that's the original Black Shogun, but I love how they like try to pay tribute to the original villains for Kamen Rider.
Yep.
Oh, here we go, new Deno.
Henshin.
Okay, Speed Racer.
Yo, why did I never piece that together with that jingle? I never pieced that together the first time I watched this. Even with the second time I was watching this, I was like, wow.
Man,
never mind.
As soon as I found that out, I'm like, this sounds like Speed Racer, and I know somebody made a joke about it. I'm not sure if it was from like Henshin Justice Unlimited Radio back in the day that mentioned that, or somebody. I think it was HCU that mentioned that that had like a Speed Racer theme to New Deno.
Yep. Imagine a Heisei Rider fighting off a Showa era villain. That's wow.
That's the power of Toku. And plus, this is pretty much like the format of how we got Superhero Tyson.
Yep.
And Superhero Tyson is it.
Ooh, yo, the fact that these kids just ran over these shocker troopers with their bikes,
hey,
that's gotta hurt.
They're used to it. They gotta fight somehow. They gotta do something. Oh, come on, Motoros. You had a sword in his hand. Okay, that's good.
Yep.
I still want to figure out him. And I know they're gonna release. Oh wait, that's not the sword. That's Unk in his hand. God.
He let Ankh take all the damage.
I still want to figure out a Motoros. So my birthday is next month. So if anybody wants to buy me Motor for my birthday, I really do appreciate it because it comes out next month too.
Now, with me, when it comes to collectibles, I'm more of a morphers / device kind of person.
Same. I like the transformation devices a lot more because I can do things with them. But because I have horrible friends since high five, I just started collecting the robots because they're fun and I like
They're cool to build.
They're cool. I still hate you since high five, but that's gonna be very important soon.
That's a symbol right there. One thing you guys should know about Toku, they hold nothing back. People get blown up, people get shot, slashed to death, people get murdered in Toku. I'm like, you know what? Power Rangers wish they were. They wish they could be this level. I mean, they can't because, reasons and gotta play it safe, but hey, Toku, they break boundaries. They go in whenever chance they have.
Yep, especially if you're watching like the early 2000 Toku when they had like the J drama the J horror S style.
Yep.
Certain episodes of Agito and Kuga give me nightmares, especially Agito. Like the first 3 episodes, one a certain monster that had people get stuck in trees. I'm like,
boy,
nope.
That was crazy.
Nope.
And here we got Ichigo and Nigo doing what they do best.
Kicking butt, as always. Now being good.
Yep. Tua!
Feel so old school.
Yep.
Oh, man, that's so cool. Let's go, Nigo. Come on, Nigo.
It's that presence. It's that presence that they have. It's just incredible.
That slow walk. Okay. Bah.
And then, of course, to play the OG Kamen Rider theme. That's a must. That's a must.
It's a staple. You have to.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about what they're going to be doing for this 50th anniversary because I know with the new logo, if people saw the new logo, it has a more like a Americanized logo, especially saying 50th anniversary Kamen Rider.
Yep.
So I feel like they're trying to put more towards the international fan base and market just to make sure that they get like a good space for it.
Yep. Because I remember that video that came out earlier in the year when Kuga was available to watch on Pluto and Shout. The producer of Kamen Rider said, we have a lot of things planned for the 50th anniversary. So I hope, that means more availability of Kamen Rider here in the U.S. So, Here come the finishers. Oh, wow. Rider kick. And wait for it. Kaboom. I love me some Toku finishers.
Especially just rider kicks.
Oh, just a regular. It may seem like a regular, ordinary kick, but man, it does some damage.
It weighs a ton. Can you get kicked by a cyborg?
Exactly.
I'm surprised they haven't released a. Did they release a new Deno figure art? I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I know they have a CSM of his belt. I know that for sure.
Man, I just want to get all the CSM belts for just the main riders only. Just the main riders. Just to get a belt of every secondary rider and everything. That's too much money.
The last belt that everybody knows that I got for CSM was the O's belt. So I'm taking a break for those now. I only got 3 of them, but the next belt, if they announce it, I'm going to probably get the Agito belt because I love the Agito belt.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a great belt, too.
I love all the movements that I have to do for it and everything. I need that announced as soon as possible.
Trust me, I be doing the henshin poses in the mirror all the time. That's like Doing just the poses just like hypes me up and gives me power. Or just like saying like, if I'm watching a Sentai movie and saying the catchphrase, it just fills you up with such excitement. It can just like make me feel empowered.
Mm-hmm. I do the same thing too because Kuga's
Yep,
Kuga's Henshin belt and his pose is like iconic. It's very simple. Yep. And then Agito's is just there's a lot of moving around.
a lot of hand movements. Trust me, it'd be taking me like a week or two just to get the the Henshin pose down right.
Yeah, I want to say the easiest, not the easiest one. The most trickiest one I was trying to learn was Ghost because
Ghost is that whole. Yeah. It's like, wow, how does he do that? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, because they have to go through training too to be able to learn that.
Yep.
It's still so hard to do the Ghost because you have to do your feet a certain way and.
Every time I do it, I feel like am I doing it right? I'm like, is my hands going the right way? Is this the finger or is this the one? It's like, which hand has to do the two fingers? I'm like, shoot.
Yeah, just so weird.
So basically here we are now. We got Ichigo, Nigo, we got New Den-O and Momotaro's walking to the base of Shocker. Of course, with this, everyone knows it's always a trap.
It's always because you just can't go to an evil base like that without no trap happening. Look at that base.
I like the redesign of how to make it, more modern. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Still like the old school one, but they gotta up it. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been since the 70s.
It's like 4 decades. Full 4 decades.
Yeah, I'm still ready to see what they got for this 50th anniversary. Just to see what they got.
Here's leader of Shocker. It's crazy how the design of his suit is just, basically a different. Yeah, it's a trap. Basically, like the design for leader of Great Shocker, how his whole suit is basically like a KKK suit, but it's just red. It pretty much is. I'm just like,
Well, cause you all know that Shocker is also based on Nazis.
Yeah, they're based on Nazis.
It's pretty much the Nazis. It's pretty much the Nazis. There's even a Hitler monster.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Yep.
I don't think it's the Hitler monsters in the original or in V3, but I know there's a Hitler monster.
Basically, with Shocker, think of like the most old school terrorist organization, and then just give them, advanced technology and superpowers. That's basically what Shocker is. They're basically Nazis with superpowers and monsters.
Pretty much. And robots.
And robots.
And sometimes monsters hide as humans too, which is weird. Oh, there we go. For example.
Yep. Seeing these Showa monsters in Heisei formula, it's just wow. This is a way to give respect to the original.
Yeah, it's a lot different from like how you watch for example, Kamen Rider First and Kamen Rider Next.
Right.
A lot of different suits for that.
I heard those movies were also pretty good too.
Yeah, the Kamen Rider First was good. It was so good that I actually have it on DVD right now. Yeah, but
I gotta watch it. Gotta watch it. I'm like, yeah. I gotta own it.
Do I still have it? I think I still have it, but I know it costs like $5 here because they did release in America. But Kamen Rider Next, that one's okay. It was okay to me.
This Shocker Greed is a really. I know it's just like, it's just an eagle monster, but I can understand why it's just an eagle monster because the insignia of the cell metal that they use has the eagle or the hawk on the metal. So it makes sense why it's, a hawk monster. And it also has like the pilot mask, for those Air Force pilots that wear masks when they fly the plane.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Shocker logo also is a bird too.
That
So that's also one thing.
that there you go. Wow, there you go.
Yeah, because Shocker wants to rule everything. They want to fly around the place and just pretty much own everything that they can see.
Yep.
I think one thing that I noticed about this now is that after this movie, when they did the 4A O's movie for Nego,
Movie War Megamax.
yeah, for Megamax, definitely my favorite one.
I love that movie.
For Nego has a very different helmet because they used the helmet back in the pretty much pay homage to him in the 70s.
Oh yeah, it does look more darker than the one here in this movie. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Because they had to redo it because after I want to say after the original V3 and then like the other ones, they started using the new Nego suit. So pretty much he looks like Ichigo, but only has the red gloves. But I appreciate Coach Ida making sure that they can pretty much show the other version of Nego.
Yep. Yo, ain't it crazy how okay, it's crazy to me how the identity of the leader of Shocker is just a Cyclops head with billions of snakes just slithering around it. I'm like, so just what, a Medusa monster?
Pretty much.
A Medusa Cyclops monster? Like no human hybrid whatsoever, just a straight up Medusa Cyclops, half Medusa, half Cyclops kind of monster. It's just like, okay, just use your imagination. Evil. It's a monster. They want to rule the world.
Oh God, here he is. The one that pretty much killed both Ichigo and Nego at the beginning of V3. He pretty much shot his bazooka from his shell and killed them.
Wow.
And they were gone for like almost half the show.
Wow. That is very interesting. Because again, like, take for me, I don't, like I said, I don't watch the shows, but just like seeing the monster designs and seeing how much impact that they have, it's just wow. And I never knew. I thought like with V3, I thought it was just like, you know, a replacement version. I mean, because like in his name, Kamen Rider version 3, so definitely like, you know, an updated version to the original 2.
Yeah, he was an update. He has his whole story of like what his end goal is. Is in his actual theme song. He pretty much talks about what his main goal is and like why he wants to say, like pretty much revenge his family and everything else. And it's a very dark show, surprisingly, but it's also very influential, especially here in America. Nobody actually knows it except for like people like in Hawaii. I believe.
V3 did air in Hawaii back in the day, way back when.
And then if you want to go ahead and buy the DVD set of V3 through Generation Kakata, you can. It's still on there.
Yep. And Ichigo and Nego always fighting till the end, no matter what.
As always, because they're the number one heroes.
We will never give in to evil. That's right.
Shout out to All Might.
Yo, imagine, I can just imagine All Might and just Ichigo just fighting together.
And just posing like this.
Like
chest out.
Man, they getting washed.
Heroes to the end.
It's always said, yeah, and also I can understand their dismay because like when you see your heroes like lose, it was like, no, don't, you gotta keep on fighting.
Here's Naoki.
I'm telling you, the Deadliner has been through hell and back. getting shot at, getting derailed, getting blown up. I'm just like, that train knows how to live.
Getting taken over.
Yeah, getting hot. Yeah, getting taken over and hijacked. Just like, jeez, there's no stopping this train.
Oh no, Teddy.
I always tend to underestimate Teddy a lot.
Well, he's not a. You don't get that much of Teddy except for like the third Dino movie
Yeah.
when they introduce both New Dino and Teddy. And it's funny he just called me like Teddy.
Yes, the snap like Teddy. This is just incredible filmmaking right here. Just having, destruction, the monsters, taking over, having a wall to block them out. He has a fist on the stick to punch them from coming over the wall.
Hey, that's her. She can
innovative right there.
Oh, there go O's. Rider vendor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
better use his medals. Yep, here we go.
Kujaku Kondo Tajadoru. I love that form. I love it. I love that form. I love that insert song. That form is just beautiful.
Man, this is so beautiful. Every single time.
And I always tend to forget that this form was used in this movie because that form is like, the super form for O's, and usually this is a special case because this is an anniversary movie, so having to use the form.
Tarosa's a hand now.
Like Anga's like, so now you know how it feels, huh? He's like, you look great.
But we're not going to start the argument between what's the final form of O's.
Okay, I hate that discussion. I hate that argument. I just like, you know what? I'm not saying nothing about that, so don't even ask me, please. Because I'm not going to give you an answer.
I'll be like, you know what? I don't care. You know what? No matter what, I'm still going to buy a figure of it.
Exactly.
That's one thing I want them to do, especially since it's the 10th anniversary of O's. I want them to release an edgy figure art so badly.
Like just straight up edgy, like unmorphed.
Yep.
That would be a good figure.
Hey, they did the same thing with Unk, and I have him, both his hand and also his.
All right, then yeah, you gotta do that. You have
to. But I've been appreciating what Bandai's been doing with the figure art line because they release edgy. They're about to release Izu as a figure art. Ixa has Otoya's face on there from that one scene of the Kiva movie. So I really do appreciate what they're doing with the human likenesses.
Nice.
And also they release Dan Kuroto's figure art as well.
Well, speaking of Kiva, I gotta finish. I'm not even halfway done with Kiva. Like I'm watching both Kiva and Go Andra right now, and it's just it's a struggle to even get. I started Go Andra in the beginning of the year, and of course I was also watching other toku shows currently airing, and also just to watch. Like I got through Kaku Ranger, I got through O Ranger, but now Go Andra and Kiva together, I'm just like, this superhero time duo right here.
You're doing the 2008 superhero time.
Yeah, I'm doing 2008 superhero time shows in 1 year. I'm like, never thought I'd be doing that.
Man, you sound like me back in 2008. I was watching both.
Teddy made the ultimate.
That's my peak year.
Making the ultimate sacrifice. And it's crazy though. Now that I really think about it, last year I was also watching Deca Ranger and Blade, not at the same time, but I watched both of them in the same year. That is crazy. Because that's a superhero time duo. That's like one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Deca Ranger and Blade. Oh man, I love Deca Ranger.
Yo, after watching Deku Ranger, I was like, now this is a popular Sentai right here. I'm like, this is GOAT. This Sentai is GOAT.
Now you see why those actors come back for a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's why another reason why I'm upset we didn't get no Shout Factory DVD.
Don't remind me.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just like, we were so close. We were this close.
We were so close to getting our Abba Ranger set, and Abba Ranger is my guilty pleasure Sentai show. Cause not a lot of people like Abba Ranger that much, but I love Abba Ranger. So that kind of got me upset. And then Decker Ranger, out of everything, I'm like, we could have got a Blu-ray set for Decker Ranger because I know the show came out on Blu-ray already. So, so Toei, Shout Factory. I
get
know,
on it. Get on it, please.
I'm like, I know they are trying to have a little bit of fallout with Hasbro, so you might want to release these now.
Cause we missing them. Cause after a whole year of no Shout Factory Sentai DVDs, we hurting right now. I mean, of course, we got the Kamen Rider that healed the wound, but the wound's still taking time to heal.
Oh, don't worry. Super Rise is gonna give us a lot of Ultraman next month.
Oh man, them Ultraman, Milk Creek and them Ultraman DVDs, shoot.
And then soon it's gonna be free for all of us for through Tubi TV, Shout TV, Tokusatsu, the main channel. So I'm ready to see some of these shows again because a lot of these Ultraman shows are surprising. Well, not surprisingly good. I've been watching those for years too, but a lot of those, a lot of people that haven't watched yet, I will recommend watching, especially the ones that they announced that should be coming out soon. So like the Gaias and the Dynas and
Momotaro just took over Ankh.
Oh my god.
So basically what just happened here, the kids in the present day found the Kamen Rider Club uniforms after Teddy's fall, so they decided to pretty much create a time capsule. So they found the time capsule, they got the clothes, they got the badges and everything. This right here is just like, wow, just carrying them off, to their doom. It's like, it's just wow.
They are going to get crucified.
I never understood that. Like, what is it with the tokusatsu shows and just like hanging a hero on a cross? I'm like, what is going on here? I never understood that.
I still trying to figure it out too. Here we go.
Public execution time.
I remember back in the fandom when they were like releasing like articles of like what they want to do for the movie, and one of those was saying they were trying to hire a lot of people for this one scene, and
that's a lot of extras.
A lot of extras.
These crane shots.
And it was before GoPro too.
Oh yes, before we had drones and everything. Like the whole hesitation upon everybody's face is just like, man, what are gonna happen?
Something like this kind of reminds me of the Fives movie too. When they had that pretty much that whole fight in the stadium, they had.
Yep. Now that I think about it, I feel like they were referencing Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones with that. Now that I think about it. Of course, you got the leader of the Delta Army announcing how they're foolish, putting them up on the stands against the crosses. That's crazy.
Kamen Rider. Look at all of those extras. And they try to remind everybody, like, look at the scale that we're going to put up for this one scene. So many people.
Wow. Just wow. At least the kids still have the O's medal, so that's the edge that they have.
Yep. And all I have to do is just put on my AG and he can just transform.
Yep.
Man, look at this. Look at all of this.
Uh-oh.
Up here we go.
It looks like we have some mice have appeared. We're the Junior Kamen Rider Squad. Playing keep away with the belt.
Uh-oh, here we go. Just running.
Get it? Like somebody get the belt. I'm telling you, this is a clever way to play, to just outsmart a villain.
Mm-hmm. And just using the crowd to the advantage, too.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Caught him. Hey, yo.
Here we go.
Right, jump.
It's starting. It's starting. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
This is like one of the most iconic scenes of this movie, of all Kamen Rider, to me.
And this speech right here, I feel like, when I was watching this part, I was really like tearing up when this kid was just like giving this speech. I was just like, man, Toku really just tug at your heartstrings. It knows how to tug at the heart. I don't know how, but they just tug at you for real.
For me, I was just like, I'm just gonna be hyped. I'm like, look at all these people, and I know there's gonna be some crazy stuff. Then next thing you know, when there's two Kamen Riders, there should be more showing up.
Oh, you got Ichigo. Once Ichigo and Nigo are laughing, like, ha, like we fooled you, like we fooled you.
And the crazy thing about it is that they laugh like villains. So
yeah, they laughing like villains. I'm like, what? Like, what's so funny?
they about to wreck stuff.
We will crush all evil in this world. Like, man, we've been trying to portray you since the beginning. Here's the twist. The shocker scientists already removed the brainwashing from their brains. We pretended to still be brainwashed. Smart. That's true thinking right there.
They're intelligent.
And the cheering crowd. Ooh.
Here we go. Just a scale of just seeing people cheer that much.
Beautiful. You got people young and old in that crowd just cheering them on. Again, with the camera moving and everything, it's just perfect filmmaking right there. Because
here we go. So many great events is going to happen during this.
Yep. Again, keep away with the belt. Like somebody grab the belt.
Let's go, crowd.
There we go. Charge.
Look at all of them. Oh my god.
I bet you everyone there that got that one check that they really needed.
Man, I would have been hyped to be in that crowd.
Facts.
Man, just a scale.
Amazing. What? Yo, this big dude just tackled he just tackled two shock troopers to the ground.
Like, he trying to get his 2 checks. I'm like, hey,
yo,
I did a twofer.
Yo, can I get 2 checks for taking down Chaka troopers? I'm like, sure. You protecting the city. Here you go. Here we go. Henshin. Taka, Tora, Bata.
And the crowd just start cheering.
Boom.
Yeah. Man, look at that scale.
Bro, if I was in a battle for the saving of the world and everything, and I had powers like this, and the crowd is hyping me up, I'm gonna feel invincible. I'm gonna be like, the adrenaline is rushing to my brain. I'm like, nothing can stop me now.
Oh, Taylor worked hard for 40 years. Now it's my turn to work hard here. That's our bond. Aw.
Ore, Sanju.
The guy that plays New Dino did get better at being possessed. Like he can act, he can show like he acted well being possessed now. During the first one, it felt off for me. Up and there goes
Momotaro's in his actual sword form. Ikaze, ikaze, ikaze. Woo.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Wrecked. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Oh, there's Shadow Moon. I almost forgot about Shadow Moon for a second. Like, man, one of the most popular Kamen Rider villains out there.
That's why you need to watch Kamen Rider Black.
Of course, that's on my list. It's on my list.
Hey, protect them. Yeah.
What? And there we go.
Yep. There go V3.
Tua. V3.
V3 so cool. V3. Oh, the cheering.
Oh yes. Edgy is so polite in every way.
That's why he bet. Oh, here we go. Rider Man.
Rider Man. X. The first Kamen Rider to use a staff as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's heat right there.
Wait, with this X as Amazon. Man, I love Amazon. I always try to do his friendship sign too.
Stronger. Again.
Recipe stronger.
Yep, rest in peace. Skyrider.
Man, just
cool. Super One. That's the craziest pose I've ever seen somebody just show up with. Just like, wow.
He had to learn how to do his transformation too in the show, which is crazy.
Z-Cross.
People cheering Z-Cross, but only had one special. That was it.
Hey, he's a Kamen Rider. It counts.
Yeah. Plus, he's technically the first Ninja Rider too. Oh,
here come the black. Here come the boys. Here come the two boys. Black and Black RX.
Black RX. I'm like, they're the same person, but I don't know how.
Hey, with this, it's a momentary occasion.
Okay.
I just like how we just punched an Advent Beast. I'm like, wow.
Why did a damn rider revive?
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here come the speech from you know who, Owner.
Owner with the best speeches.
That is true.
Memory. Like what memories?
Mm-hmm.
Human memories create time. In other words, as long as human memories exist, Kamen Riders will endlessly revive. That is right.
Yep. The main plot point of Dino. Memory create history.
That is right.
Uh-oh.
And here come the movie writers.
Oh, God, there goes Shin.
Zeta O. And J.
Hey, played by Tyranno Ranger himself.
Yep. And now let's move on to my Heisei boys.
Here we go.
Kuga.
Oh, look at that suit.
Clean.
Agito.
I love it. They're fighting the Shocker Riders and the monsters of their season. That is just
Ryuki.
Really Ryuki.
Dragon Knight.
Fies. That got the best belt jingles.
His belt is so expensive, but you know, hey.
Blade. My boy Kenzaki.
The undead himself. Hibiki.
Hibiki. Speedmaster. Kabuto. Kiba.
Oh yeah, I forgot they skipped Dino because Dino said to be.
Yep. And there's my boy Tsukasa. Busting Shadow Moon with ease.
Of course.
Oh,
here we go.
Hey, look who back for a special cameo. Like, wait just a moment.
So, as you can tell, that Shotaro's hair is kind of brown in this, and then Philip's hair. Philip is wearing a wig because I believe the actor got cast in a different movie or show, so he had to cut his hair off. So he had to wear a wig.
And he is very hard to get hold of now, just to try to do cameos or anything.
Yeah, he is very popular. If you think that Dino's actor is hard to get, his management said like no, he's booked for years.
And like we got his schedule is booked. Yep. No cameos, no nothing.
Commercials he's good with, TV shows, music because he's also a singer now. So yeah, because he sings one of the theme songs for My Hero. No, he sang an ending song for My Hero Academia.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he sang one of them.
Oh shoot, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was for both one. I believe it was the first movie, and then I believe it was season 3 that he sang that it was the ending theme.
I think I know which ending theme you're talking about because that ending theme is actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, he sang.
Yeah, I love that song. I love that ending theme. Teddy. And for a momentous occasion, do it, Momo.
He has to.
Sword form.
He has to. He's the only one that can do it.
Ore. Futabai Sanju.
Mamoru's ridiculous.
I tell you, every time I was watching Deno, anytime the pose was about to happen, I always did it with them. Like, yep, like, Ore, Sanju.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Kobayashi wrote both Deno, O's, Go Busters, Tokyuger,
and Time Ranger. Did she also do Time Ranger?
She wrote Time Ranger, Ginga Man, and B Fighter.
Wow. B Fighter as well. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So she's a very established writer in Tokusatsu. And also Shinkenger. She's the main writer for Shinkenger too.
One of the best modern Toku shows.
My favorite Sentai of all time. I'm like, how did I forget Shinkenger? She wrote my favorite one.
I'm a sucker for swords, so I know main writers always have like a sword weapon, but anytime I just see a sword just about to go into a finisher and just get so sparkly like it looks like a lightsaber, I'm just like, I wish I had that weapon.
So that means you're liking Saber right now.
Saber is not bad. I mean, a lot of people are complaining about it, saying because like so many writers are appearing so soon. I'm like, didn't Gaim do the same thing? I didn't watch a Gaim yet, but I'm like, didn't Gaim do the same thing for you guys?
Gaim,
So
XA did the same thing as well.
exactly, Ryuki did the same thing. I'm like,
Well, Ryuki's a little bit here and there because they
yeah,
separated a lot.
yeah, branch it. They space it out with bringing new writers. But I'm like, guys, it's just because I'm like, when the poster for hold up, look at this. The coming of the heroes.
All running together just for justice.
Pose shot. Money shot.
The main shot.
The panning. I love it. Love to see it. I love how you had Kuga and Agito in the same shot with Black and Black RX. That is awesome.
Just those suits right now together are just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I know they have to drag this moment out because I mean, just look at it.
Mm-hmm. Because they had to do the same thing too with All Rider First and Die Shocker, just making sure that you appreciate that what you see right now.
Yep, show the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Kamen Riders aren't the only allies of justice here.
Oh, I remember this.
Like, bring on the Shotaro Ishinomori's.
Kakaiders. Oh, Kakaider 01. Oh, man.
Inazuman.
And then Zubat. Also played by Kamen Rider V3.
Yo, that man got so many Toku. He's just a Toku legend. Zubat, V3, Big One, Owl Ranger. I'm just like, yo, this man done it all.
He's also the commander for both. Was it Blue SWAT? No, it wasn't Blue SWAT. It was Wing Spectre. He was the commander for, and he's also the commander for O Ranger.
Yep.
Like he's a
legend. Yo, I know Shotaro Ishimori was smiling up in heaven when he saw his creations live on the screen like this together in one shot. I'm like, you guys have done me proud. You guys.
I need to watch Zubat because the way he just walks around carrying like a guitar everywhere, I'm like, I need to watch that show now.
And Toku as a whole has something for everyone. That's just the great thing about Tokusatsu. And I just feel like now with the 2020s, it's just like, since I came into the fandom and once I joined like Toku Twitter back in like the late 2010s, it just Toku as a whole is starting slowly to become, more known here in the States.
Yeah,
not
more
yet,
mainstream.
Yeah, not yet, but it's known. Everyone knows about it. It's just hasn't gotten to like that, that level of like, MCU or Marvel or DC or anime yet. Well, I can say yes with anime because anime is another thing that's very popular. It's Japan's home creation. So
it is. I really do appreciate what they're doing now because for the Reiwa era, after like during this new generation, they're trying to promote more like universal harmony. So they're trying to make sure that for one, tourism is a very good perspective on getting people to go to Japan. Having a lot more licensing for the shows because you can see that with Super Rival, Ultraman. You can see that now with Tokusatsu. So you can pretty much tell that like they're opening up more for Japan, people to learn more about the Japan culture and their superheroes or their different licenses. Because now you got like Nerdist doing articles and like videos about Ultraman and showing like the Kamen Rider, having like a Kamen Rider panel for a showing. It shows that we're being known. Oh, they're at the quarry. You know what that means.
Yep. Anytime the fight is at the infamous quarry location, that's where the epic battles happen.
Yeah, I definitely need to go. I definitely want to go to that quarry just to visit and just pose, just to pose there.
Get me a shot on the cliff and just like take the shot.
Be like, Toll!
like, Suya!
Oh, man, I just want to... Or just go to the core and run like the Kara Mages like in it do to open the scene.
Momotaro was like, well, like, what core metal? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just digging at him. Like...
Like, imagine, man, I wonder what combo this will make. Mm-hmm.
I wonder which one. You better not lose.
So he was like, I'm gonna kick your ass if you lose.
That shit.
Taka, imagine, shoka.
Tamashi,
Tamashi, Raida, Damashi. I love that jingle. Ichigo's like, oh, incredible.
Look at this form.
It's cool. I understand why people don't really like it that much because they never understand the purpose of like what kind of combo is this, but it's not bad. It's actually kind of cool.
It's all right looking to me, but it's not my favorite. There's a lot of them.
Here's what I call the Kamen Rider Kamehameha. Kamehameha.
Then more.
Like here's that and then some.
Okay, his powers are gone now.
Like, did you do it? I'm like, I think I did.
This autumn running.
Oh, and just when you thought it was over.
Yeah.
King Dark.
King Dark. Why is King Dark so tall?
Yep. You know what? Okay, this moment here was kind of crazy, but kind of confusing and ridiculous at the same time. How you have a giant like King Dark show up, and then seconds later, someone as evil as him, way stronger, shows up. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yep. It was so I didn't really understand that part. I'm like,
exactly.
How?
Like, what was the point of having King Dark show up then?
Because I feel like they try to pull an All Rider versus Die Shocker.
Yep.
And like try to have how they had King Dark versus Decade, but then you have stuff like this happen. Shocker Rider's true form.
Rock great leader. I'm like, okay. Like, this isn't even my final form. It's like that final battle with Kuroji Ujio in 199 Hero Battle. Like, y'all thought you could y'all defeated me, right? Nope, I got another form. Man, look at him. Michael Bay wish he could do explosions like this. He wish.
Nope, he cannot.
Japan got him beat when it comes to explosions. I'm like, bruh, your explosions are nothing.
I feel like the Corey breaking down was used in 199.
It was, and it was also used like really like 3 years later in Kyryuger versus Go Busters with the whole.
They did use that. Okay, bye, King Dark.
Like, thank you for your cameo.
We'll see you at next aid.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, that was weird. Why was King Dark an X? Oh yeah, never mind. That was weird. King Dark was just randomly an X8.
Up, here come the rest of the writers, secondary writers and all.
Secondary, some of them.
Some of them secondary, some of them extra. I'm just like, this movie can't even get even more crowded.
I know, because some of them were all copy and paste because some of them aren't moving.
Yep, I'm just like, no one's moving here. It's
And
just
plus, why is Oja there when Oja's when I saw Oja and Kick Punch Hopper, I'm like, why are you here? Why are any of you here? I understand Birth, because Birth is a secondary.
yeah, especially since he just showed up like 8 episodes later. I'm like, wait a minute. Some of you writers are dead. How are
But
y'all
not
here?
only that, some of you are serial killers.
Exactly. I'm like, some of y'all ain't heroes. Like, some of y'all are villains.
I'm like, why is Oja here? Out of all people, he wants to murder living people, like actual humans. Here we go.
To the bikes.
The most funniest thing about this scene is Hibiki's bike.
He barely even uses his bike in the show.
Because here's the thing, his bike is a regular Harley Davidson.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, the fact that every single rider who owns a bike or a car, I'm just like, wait a minute, who's the one driving the car? I'm like, driving wasn't even born yet.
Oh yeah, that was RX.
Aha.
Yeah, cause that's the rider on.
Ah, got you. All rider break.
Okay, Skyrider. Because that's pretty much a Skyrider move.
A nice nod. Just ram him with a big 40.
Yep. That's actually a nice effect.
It is.
Just explosions everywhere.
Wow. Wow. Just like that, the day is won.
Thanks to the Kamen Riders. But we'll never see New Dino after this movie.
Oh yeah, that too. Telling the heroes of the present to maintain the legacy. Love it.
I cannot believe it's been 10 years since this movie.
I know, right?
That is still shocking to me.
Play on words.
Where was I? I was still in high school when this movie came out.
I wasn't even in high school. I was like 2010. I was in. I think I was in like what 6th or 7th grade around that time.
I was a junior in high school when this movie came out. I remember this. I remember the day when this movie came out too. It was so weird to me.
Up there, and here's the twist.
Mm-hmm. And then you realize something else that's messed up too.
I'm like, he was friends with his father when he was a kid. I was like,
yep.
This is like, wow. And also, it's crazy how they chose the singer of the Go Ranger and Jacka theme to play this guy. I'm like, no, because I'm watching the movie for the first time. I'm like, why does that guy look familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I had to look it up and everything. I'm like, why does he look familiar? I'm like, it's the singer of the Go Ranger theme. I knew it.
I'm surprised he hasn't showed up to any of those concerts to sing his songs.
Yeah, you know what? Especially with those concerts, I understand that Project R basically sings them now because I know those old school artists are hard to even get a hold of. Some of them have passed away, but it's just, especially when it comes to Kamen Rider themes, I love it when the original singer sings it.
Yep.
But when you have Ricky sing majority of the things, I'm like, man, he can't do it. He ruins it.
He cannot do it at all.
He can't.
Now,
Especially when he was singing the OG Kamen Rider theme. I'm like,
he's not touching the O's theme song ever again. I'm not allowing him to do that ever anytime soon.
no, he better not touch that. Don't touch the XA theme anymore or the Ghost theme anymore. Because I'm like, man, you ruined that theme.
I'm like, let Beverly take care of this.
Bro, she could take whatever theme she wants. After hearing her sing the Kuga and Kabuto theme song, she got my vote. She can do it.
Especially the Kabuto theme song. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, this is what we're gonna do now. I'm like, Beverly should. I wanted Beverly to sing the Saber theme song because when they were trying to highlight who was going to be the special guest, I thought it was going to be Beverly because I love her singing.
Yeah, she has a great voice.
Mm-hmm. In both English and Japanese, and
amazing. Oh
man, I just listened to the Build theme song. Expect both versions, the Japanese version and the English version. I'm like, this don't miss. I'm like, she didn't miss. She didn't miss. She can't miss.
Exactly.
But I could see her definitely singing an O's theme song because she can pull that off.
Oh yeah,
O's
yeah.
theme song off. Hopefully next year. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh man. This movie just straight up I just love when movies, or better yet, when Toku films just do like legacy or like anniversary films as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, to me, there has been like a bad, anniversary kind of film, unless like Gao Ranger versus Super Sentai. That movie is just basically like a whole clip show.
Mm-hmm.
That whole movie is a clip show. But as like every other anniversary film Toku film that comes after that, it's just, they're great.
Yeah, I actually did like the Gao Ranger Super Sentai one. It pretty much hit like the homages like to original Sentai.
Yep.
But like you said, like every legacy one does have like a really good anniversary. The Sentai ones, they always, for some reason, they hit more because, for one, you basically grew up with those suits. So
yep.
Seeing all those like actors come back and all those different different moves and suits and music, I really do appreciate. And then for Ryder, I'm not sure if you heard my roommate yelling, but
yeah, I heard.
He's playing Final Fantasy 14 right now, so he's playing online currently.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but seeing all the Ryder anniversaries, I really do appreciate them. Sometimes there'll be like points where it doesn't really hit as much, but I really do appreciate what they bring to the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the Ryder Girls theme song?
Yeah, this was their debut single, and I'm like, when I heard the entire song, I'm like, they actually did a great rendition of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've listened to other songs by them, and I'm like, they are great singers.
Hey, the Pac-Man song, the battle was it Battle Game song?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with them and Ryder Chips.
Yep, because sometimes I'd be working out to that song. I'm like, yo, this song is great.
Especially when they sing in the B-A-T-T-L-E.
Yeah,
M-E battle game. I'm like, damn, this goes hard.
Like fire. I think that's another thing when it comes to like insert themes, or heck, just themes in general. Like, certain people are just allowed to touch themes. That's why with the concerts, every time you hear Surprise Drive, you always have Kamen Rider Eternals actors sing that song. No one touches that song.
No one touches it.
No one's supposed to touch that song except for him. And I love that. Because anybody else who sings that song, that's going to be a problem. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the movie. I'm just like, wow. Wow. This was great. I just, like, for the first debut episode, I know we kind of, gone on tangents while watching this, but when it comes to Toku, when you get into like a Toku conversation, it's just amazing. You can't help it. You just enjoy the conversation.
You can't. It just pretty much you're in that spirit, especially when you watch it, just to make sure that you bring out a lot of things. Just if you're watching one thing that deals with camaraderie, you may bring up like Sentai, may bring up like Ultraman, you may bring up like Garo or any type of like random tokusatsu show or just anything else. So it's pretty much just shows like pretty much like bring like a dialogue, but not only like talk about the movie, but like the franchise itself. So it's normal in a way.
Yep. But wow, this for the first debut episode of Sit and Watch. Thank you guys so much for listening into this. Vaughn, thank you so much for being the first guest on this new segment. Where can everyone find you, my friend?
You can find me on Twitter at MrCooper92. You can also find me on Instagram at MrCooper92. You can find me on no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say my Facebook. I'm not going to say my LinkedIn. I was about to, but no, I cannot. But if you find me randomly, congratulations, you found me.
Yeah, like you found me. Oh man! And as always, guys, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and also follow me here on the Facebook page, so that way you can get a notification whenever I go live here on Facebook. But of course, thank you guys so much for listening in. As always, I'm Vengeance, I'm Darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden, and may the power protect you.
Peace.